Hello. Hi. What is happening? How are we?
We're good. How are you?
Doing well.
What do we got on the menu today?
To the end stage. We got monster dumbbell and a couple of other things. Nothing that exciting other than monster dumbbell. So that's at Shaw, that's at Canada's, that's at the Arnold UK. So something important to get right. I'm working on a technical change from last week to get that hand a bit higher. It's supposed to be 110 for triples today. I did that a week ago, so hopefully all moves well. We're at a new level of sock rippage today.
Look at that.
Yeah. My Instagram is just wild with people telling me I'm doing things wrong. Holy Christ, people. I don't care. Even one person comments, they're like, because I went off program with my yoke earlier in the week just because I felt like it. And I sent it to Laws. He was kind of like, oh, whatever, how's the body feeling, blah, blah, blah. Someone comments that you should listen to Laws and listen to his programming. He programs things for a reason, blah, blah. Laws screenshots, just sends it over to me. He's like, geez, someone doesn't want you to have any fun.
Where's your head at right now?
I'm just tired, man. I'm just tired. The second last week of prep, everyone knows it's the worst. And you gotta push through and do things when you're not feeling 100%, which is sort of good practice for comps. Like I know I'll be feeling this way in half of my comps this year anyway. So, just put my head down, just get it done. Whenever I have the opportunity to make something a little bit more difficult on myself, I try to take it. So we're gonna have 3-4 inches where, as I bring the dumbbell up, weights will be moving around a bit, and a little extra to deal with. That way, if it happens in comp, which isn't possible, but say the dumbbells were unevenly weighted or something, this makes you a little bit more resilient to things not being perfect. This soft belt has been such a game changer for me. If you don't have one, you should definitely pick one up if you're a strong man. Good news, my code for Cerberus, which is Hooper, is now in America as well. I haven't put that out yet, but if you're in America, take advantage of it.
That does not look fun with that stuff moving around in there.
No, and you can see the effect of that, but it's good, right? You can be a little bit flexible with what you're doing. Creates resilience, like I said.
flaws know that you're going up?
I have a bit of freedom on this one. Like, it doesn't, if you miss it, you miss it. It's not that end of the world. But this is the week to push. So look, I'm not a moron. I know what's gonna click me and what's not. And a heavy yoke is not. A heavy dumbbell is not. Stones probably would. Deadlifts obviously would. You just put everything in context, use your brain. And you know what? It's all the people out there who want me to follow the exact program. Don't go off program, do exactly that. And your potential. If I don't reach my potential because I smelled too many roses along the way, then I've achieved more than my potential. Two of three, pretty good. I just looked in the wrong spot on the second one. It's tough in this room with the big TV over there, staring into the light. That's fantastic. I'm very happy with that. If only I could have done that in London. And my poor hand, I scratched it. And Ashley's not here to put a band-aid on it. All right. Undo some boring stuff. Enjoy.
An hour in here.
Oh, Tom Scorer. Does Tom think I'm gonna pull 505? Strength coach Scorer.
Like everybody else, I just started really paying attention to this after World's Strongest Man this past year. That 505 is a huge number.
Yes, it is.
There have been plenty of people that have attempted it since Halflord did his 501. I don't know why 505 is the fixation. Why not beat it by like
Weak mind.
502 or 503? But
510.
again, that's why I am sitting here commentating on it. And then you have guys like Mitchell Hooper who are actually attempting it. But I think it'd be pretty cool.
Fuck yeah, it would be.
See, like, he looks capable of it, and
Fuck yeah.
see, based on his personality and just how he carries himself, I would love to see him crush it. But
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, you gotta love it. We'll chuck him in, and then Tom, I love you. There you go. When you're kind, you get kindness in return. All right, a little bit of core work and we're done. Can you tell that I don't really get off on this stuff? Your accessories should be as intense as your main lifts. No, they shouldn't.
Oh. Back to Ashley's here.
No comment. No comment. Although Ashley's slowly thinking I'm funnier, which is a big win. This is called resting between core exercises.
Namaste.
Namaste, yoga. The shaking is interesting because we use our core in such a different way, where deadlifts and squats are actually the best two core exercises according to research, but you use them in a way where you're bracing to support your back, and to use your abs in isolation is really quite challenging when you're not used to it. Ergo, shaking like mad.
So, How you feeling? Like, where's your head at right now going into?
I think all has gone pretty much according to plan. You have natural doubts in your head, and I only speak in probabilities because I never say something's for sure going to happen or something's for sure not going to happen. And I have pieces of me that think it's going to be a push to get it done, and I have pieces of me that are completely confident that it's going to happen. And there's a lot of variables that can make it happen or not happen. And some of those are in your control, some of those are not. And you got to kind of throw caution to the wind, go on the day, and see what you can do.
Yeah, I think there's like a lot to kind of be said, right? Where, you know, even reading some of the comments and everything, and, you know, some people saying like for sure he's not going to have it, or saying that you're coming off maybe a little bit arrogant or anything. But I think doing anything at a high level, you have to have some sort of confidence going into that. Otherwise, like, people don't break records by accident.
My understanding of arrogance is that you're confident without the admission that you can fail. And I recognize that I'm fallible and everyone's fallible. And I think it's a bit of a sad statement for me just to come out and say I think I could do something and people to be upset by that. And people who say I definitely won't do it are just as misinformed and inaccurate as people who say I definitely will do it. You know, there's been grandmas lift up vans off of children. I think I'm closer than that. There's been people heavily favored in certain athletic events who have false started on the line and not been able to complete the event. So lots of stuff can happen, and that's the interest of sport. If you could go in guaranteeing something, it's really not interesting. But put it this way: there's no one. Everyone who's done it has thought they could, and no one has done it by accident. There has to be a certain level of belief, and that's why when this all started, I said the people who I thought could do it were myself and Bish, because we're the two who have actually come out and said, I think I'm going to be able to do it. I'd be really surprised if a guy who's never come out and said it. You know, Graham Hicks looking strong as hell, but I've never actually heard him say it's even my intention. So there's no way it's going to happen, right, if you're not intending to do it. So I think that's the bare minimum to attempt it. And I got some really good advice when I was 17 or 18, going into my first bodybuilding competition. I had lost about 60 pounds. I probably had another 30 or 40 to go to be able to get in competition shape. And I said I was going to wait a year. I said I was going to put on some size, be in better condition, be a bit more competitive. And you really don't know where life's going to take you. And you don't know when you're going to be able to do something and when you're not. And it could be something catastrophic, like you break a bone or you dislocate a hip or something like that. But it could be something really simple, like you have a couple of kids and you just, in the grand scheme of life, strongman now has to come second to the kids. So yeah, you know, you have an opportunity gifted to you to attempt to break a world record. And for me, I'm definitely in touch enough that not trying it would be foolish, in my opinion. And there's a risk of injury. There's a risk of not doing it. There's a risk of not doing. We can't just walk out and say I guarantee 1,000 pounds. I know I could do it, but that's a gargantuan number. And when Eddie broke the record, it went from 463 to 500 in one day. And I don't think people realize how insane the progress of the deadlift has been in the last few years. So to talk about like 1,000 is just guaranteed when maybe 15 guys have ever done that is silly. You know, like Evan Singleton's a great example. You could get food poisoning and just like be flat out. You could, so many different variables. But again, that's sort of what's exciting about the whole thing.
Yeah, one thing that I kind of want to ask you, I guess, is like, how is going for this record right now, 505, and we've been filming this for 7 weeks now, you know, this whole build up, lead up to this. How does this compare against any other athletic endeavor that you've done?
Compared to everything else I've done, it's certainly on a larger scale. But I also have my ducks in a row, way better than I've ever had them. You know, I have every other aspect of my life taken care of. So I think I've put less pressure on myself to get it done. I think the amount of excitement there is versus the amount of anxiety is at the appropriate level, where I'll be nervous, I'll be a bit anxious about it, definitely excited. But there's mostly only positive outcomes to come from it. You know, everyone in the sport, you could rock up on a day, fail 1,000 pounds, and everyone in the sport understands, like, look, that it's insane to pull that in the first place. And even, you know, you pull 505, you just got to keep it all in perspective. After my Giants Live performance, I was ecstatic and I had the trophy, and Ash wasn't able to come with me, so she was back in Canada. And 3 hours after the show, you're still in the hotel room by yourself. You're still just sitting there. And life gets back to life super quickly. So I think you always have to keep things in context, and I think I could do that now more than any other time in my life. And I'm just really excited. I'm just really excited to get out there. This type of build-up, this 8 weeks out, we started this YouTube series. That's my life. That's my entire life. It always has been. There's never a point in my life where I couldn't tell you in 10 weeks I'm trying to do something, or in 4 weeks is this event, or in 12 days I'm going to try to get a 95 on my exam. Or that's just how I'm wired. And I don't really understand people who aren't wired that way, probably to a fault. If I have a conversation with someone who's not goals driven, it just stalls. I just cannot even compute someone who doesn't behave that way.
Yeah, I feel that as well, right? And I think that's why we can get along here right off the bat and stuff, and why we're able to connect and do this. So, are there any reasons you think that 505 won't go up?
Yeah, the biggest reason is fucking 1,100 pounds. I mean, from the root of it shouldn't go up. Look at the guys who have done it, and look at their pedigree. And you got Thor, who's a monster. You got Eddie, who's unbelievable. He's a monster. They both dedicated significant portions of their training to it, and really had the best environment possible for them to do it. And you put me beside them, and I'm 60 kilos lighter. I'm a few years into my strength career. I don't have that much competition experience. I've never been at the World Deadlift Championship before. I'm not doing anything more wild in the lead up, it's just normal peak. And so all of those reasons, take out the fact that, maybe the suit doesn't go on properly on the day. Maybe it's just really uncomfortable for whatever reason. Maybe I get messed up in the times between lifts. Maybe I eat too much food, or I drink too much water, and the belt is making me want to throw up. There's so many factors that go into something like this, that all those moving parts. And I'm very much of the attitude, you could stress out to the nines about every little individual thing going perfect. I prefer to know that it won't. And then nothing's going to throw me on the day. It might impact my performance, sure, but it's going to impact my performance because it will literally impact my performance, not because it affects my emotion, which impacts my performance. So there's more reasons why it won't happen than it will. But the reason that I believe it will is because I pulled 475 10 months ago. I am substantially stronger now than I was then. There will be a much larger crowd. I have briefs that fit me. I'll be way more excited. I have that number in mind. When I did 475, I was hoping for 455. And you put all those factors together, an extra year of training, it's hard to see why it's not possible in my head. And the only reason that anyone is thinking it's not possible is because their frame of reference is on what other people have done. And that does not factor into my equation at all. If I'm thinking about myself 5 or 10 years down the track, if I stick with this, and if I don't get injured in a big way, 520, 530, 540, I mean, objectively, I'm a little over 3 years into my strength career. I went from 435 to 475 in 4 months. We're 12 months past 475. Even if I have a bad day, I'll be capable of more than 475. I'm not going to attempt 475, we'll go into that in a minute. But it's going to be somewhere between 475 and 505, because that's what I'm attempting. But regardless, if you charted my progress, it's hard to see myself in 1 to 2 years in the deadlift as anything but untouchable to anyone who we've seen so far. Now that could change. Pavlo Nenchevsky could come and pull 505, and he's a monster and he could catapult. Based on what I've seen from everyone, if I was putting money on someone to be untouchable in 3 years' time, objectively, it's hard to say to anyone but me in that lift.
I love that. I love the confidence. I love that, you know where you're going, you know kind of the path and where you want to be. It's super exciting, actually. It's super cool. Now, do you want to kind of go through leading up to the comp, like what the next couple days are going to look like going in when you're traveling, getting ready, maybe some of the attempt selections, maybe just like lead up right into how far you planned ahead to get us there, and then we can kind of wrap the video there?
Yeah. Just to backtrack on those thoughts, because I'm waiting for people to say how I'm arrogant. And I could get hurt, It's simply, I pulled 400 kilos for the first time, would have been about 18 months ago, 19 months ago. 435, 4 months after that, 475, 4 months after that. You give 2 years of training on top of that. I understand that progress will taper off at a certain stage, but it's hard to believe I'm anywhere close to my potential, and that's all I'm saying. I think the only reason you hit your potential and it flattens off earlier than it needs to is it's all up there. And if you don't honestly believe that you're capable of more, then it's never going to happen. But to talk about the next little while, I have a couple of hard training sessions. This is being filmed on Wednesday, so I'll train hard on Friday, Saturday. Then next week will be pretty chill. I'll probably train something like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, if all goes well. I fly out Thursday night, I get into Wales Friday morning, then I'll probably settle in, do a bit of media on Friday. We'll have an athletes meeting at night. From the athletes meeting, I'm gonna go to a pub, time to be confirmed, but probably like 9 to 11 at a place called The Yard in Cardiff. Looks really cool. I'm gonna head there for a couple of beers, 9 to 11 Friday night. I'd love people to come. I'd love the place to be packed out. I'd love to meet some people. I know that I'm not going to be the only strongman there, and it'll be fun. Like when I pulled 475, I probably had 15 drinks the night before. We're going to keep it to like 5.
You had 15 drinks before you
it was
475.
Do you know this story?
No.
All right. So the day before 475, this also contributes to why I feel like I'd probably be capable of more. It was a boat party at work, and we were on the Sydney Harbour. And I said to Ashley, boat starts at 1, we get off at 6. We're drinking, okay? I'm drinking, I'm going for it 1 to 6. Then at 6, I'm stopping, we'll go to the bar with everyone, we'll go back to our house around 10, get a good night's sleep, leave for comp at around 7:30 the next morning. And then there's a video of me with a tray of tequila shots around 12 a.m. just like pumping. So yeah, I was drinking pretty much all night. And yeah, then I got up, like had about 6 hours of sleep. And yeah, so we're gonna go 9 to 11, 5 drinks. I'm easily coaxed, so we'll see where it goes. But yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Saturday morning I'll wake up, I'll probably do something leisurely. I don't know, still occupying though, because you imagine the event will start, I don't know, probably around 5. All the details are out there, by the way, I'm not sure. Say the event starts at 5, you get up at 9 a.m. and we don't need to leave until 1, you still have 4 hours and you're not just gonna sit in your hotel room. So I'll probably, I don't know, I might go to a castle or something, go check it out, see what Wales has to offer. Maybe hang out with some of the guys, because we really only see each other for very short spans. And then head to the venue early afternoon. We'll probably have a bit of a meet and greet. Then do, walkouts. Then we'll start warming up. In the warm-up room, first attempt is 400. So in the warm-up room, I don't know, I'll probably pull like 380 in a suit. I don't know though, because you think how much time you're in the suit matters. I'll take Law's guidance on this, but there's a part of me that thinks that I won't suit up in the warm-ups. I'll just put the suit on to go 400. Then 435 is the next attempt. I'm gonna skip that one. I'll do 455. Then after that, 475 is the next attempt. I'll skip that one, and then I'll do 505 attempt. After the 505 attempt, we'll see how the body feels. it would be great to go on and do the rest of the comp. The most exciting bit to me is strongman is the first time I've ever been positively motivated, right? In everything else, it was don't mess this up, and that was the motivation. Where in strongman, I look at the next few months, and I'm like, if I did pull 505, if I did go on to win that comp, if I did go to the show a week later, say I won that one, and then I won Canada's Strongest Man, I went over to the UK and I won the Arnold UK, I have the potential to be like one of the best right now. You know, then going into Worlds next year, it could be like Martins, Alexi, I'm not sure if Tom's in there or not, but Martins, Alexi, and Mitchell, like who's coming out on top? And it's just mental to me. You know, like, I still feel like just a normal dude who's just doing all this stuff for fun, and so much comes from it. So yeah, all pretty exciting, and that's really what I'm thinking about. And there's a chance that it happens. There's a chance that I do it. And the thing that I'm most happy about is no stage has seemed to bother me. No pressure really hasn't bothered me. I've been able to enjoy pretty much everything I'm doing, and then, you know, after the event, if I hit 505, we'll probably have a rager. It'll probably be a lot of fun. I'm not one to really do it, but that'll probably be a mental evening. Probably we'll go back to the yard. Why not? And yeah, but then I'm traveling Ireland with my family for 4 or 5 days after. Then on Thursday I fly out from Dublin to Denver to get ready for the Shaw Classic, and then we're into the next one. So that's the plan. I'm really looking forward to having a few days off of work, of obligations, of, you know, everything hectic that's going on. I really need that from a mental perspective. I haven't been present like I've wanted to be with people over the past little while, but that's just the short-term sacrifice that has to be made. And I'm really lucky that Ashley has my best interests at heart and understands that our best interest sometimes isn't like happy now. Sometimes it's sacrifice, and fruits of your labor will come.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited to watch it all. I'm excited to get together when you come back, because this is the last time, realistically, that we're going to film before the event. I think this is a good place to kind of end this video. Wrap it up here. Say your goodbyes. Tell everyone that you love them, and you'll see them again shortly.
I do. I love you guys. Look, this is, like, everyone who's watching this is the most special bit, is that I can communicate to so many people through this lens, and continuing to build this platform. And yeah, the things that mean the most to me are not related to lifting weights. It's people who will message me and say, like, I've just approached how I got injured differently. I've just approached things in my life differently. And if I could make a positive impact on people's lives, that's what I want to do. And using 505 as a proxy, sweet. You know, you get the leverage, you get the followers, but the ability to speak to this many people is something that I don't take lightly, and something that I really don't want to waste. So it's something that will definitely continue after the 505, whether it happens or not. I just think we're in such a powerful time when this is possible, and I can go from 0 to 10,000 YouTube subscribers in 6 weeks, and really appreciative of you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Wish me luck, and I'm gonna go have a blast either way. Look forward to seeing everyone at the yard Friday night. If you can't make it, there's gonna be a live stream. I'll keep advertising that. Like, comment, subscribe, as per usual. Those things are what allows these videos to keep happening. So the more you do that, the more you support me, the more you support Strongman, and we're in a big push for the next few months. Lots of comps. So thanks again, guys. We'll speak to you soon.